Hello, and welcome to the King Smith Podcast with your hosts
Nathan Smith!
and the other one.
Zach King.
That's me.
Yes, by the way, this is the King Smith Podcast!
I already said that.
I know, but I like saying it like that anyway. It makes it more exciting.
Yep. Before we start on the official topic, Nathan, I just want to. I already did a short thank you earlier, but
Yes,
I want to say thank you to all the people who watched the shorts we did over the weekend.
Yes.
So
Thank you, all the short people.
You're welcome.
Zach was mostly responsible for all of those.
Yeah.
I do the big
So-
ones. I do the long videos.
So this is a two-part thing. Thank you for watching all of those, and number two, this is sort of an announcement.
Yeah.
If you go to our intro video that we have on the channel here, on the
Right
YouTube
there.
channel for you podcast listeners,
You have to go to YouTube, sorry.
you have to go to YouTube. We announced that we were going to have a vlog on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet.
We have released one episode of that.
It really didn't work.
It really didn't work. So what's going to happen is, for you YouTube watchers in particular, and those who watch the vlog, is the vlog is going to be mostly relegated to the shorts we release on the channel.
Yep.
And maybe every once in a while, every so often, we'll release a big vlog. We are talking about doing some doing some summer trips and stuff like that, where it's just gonna be the two of us, or
It's going to be fun.
or the two of us plus some other people. So
Yep.
Look forward to some of the longer vlogs there. But other than that, that wasn't me.
That was my watch. My watch tells me to go to bed. You probably didn't hear that online, but it made a go to bed sound.
Yeah. But anyway, so for you video watchers and for the Spotify listeners that might be interested in YouTube, the vlogs are going to be relegated to shorts, and we might release a few longer ones here and there throughout the years. However long this thing goes.
Yeah, however long we go.
All right.
All right. What are we talking about today, Zachary?
Nathan, we the last couple of episodes we've been delving pretty deep into the Word,
Yes, we have.
and that is good. And while yes, we will keep doing that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while,
We need just an episode to just lay back.
yes, we need a break from the study that we do.
It sounds so bad. It feels. I almost feel bad.
It
It's like
feels bad,
we need a break.
yes.
No, it's not a break.
It's not.
We're taking a topic change. That's
Right.
what it is.
It feels wrong to say that.
It's still bibliocentered, even though we're going to be
It's
talking about.
Bible-centered, but we're not focused squarely on the scriptures.
We're talking about football today. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's the football podcast.
it's the football podcast. So before we will be reacting to a super wild card weekend. Yes,
I hate they call it that.
I know.
It
but
sounds so dumb.
it does, but
It's not the wild card. It's the super wild card.
but it's marketable. I'll tell you that much.
yeah.
Anyway,
I like other super things
before
that the NFL has.
before we
that are
get to wild
And
card,
Bowley.
be quiet.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
But
My bad.
Before we react to the postseason stuff, I'll say it that way. We're going to We're going to time travel back a little bit to the end of the NFL season. Nathan.
Oh, the regular season? Yeah.
Yeah, the regular season.
Yeah, what's up?
There were some coaches that were fired that we did not expect. There were some coaches that mutually parted ways that we were like, that was about time.
Right.
Well, there was one coach I'm thinking of. But anyway, yeah.
I think we're thinking of the same person.
And there was, and we'll even dip into college football a little bit. In case you guys haven't guessed, neither of us really watch college football because for the longest time, college football was kind of like the NFL, where it was the Patriots versus whoever.
Yeah.
And college
was like
football was Alabama.
Bama.
It was Bama versus whoever.
Well, I don't think it was that extreme. I mean, you had LSU in there and a couple others.
But for the longest time, that's what it seemed like. You
Right.
know, it was just
Who
oh
won this year? Michigan won this year, didn't they?
yeah, they did.
Michigan won.
But for
No, yeah, I guess you are right. Yeah, because it's really only like those two teams usually, Bama and one other, that
yeah, it's
pretty much just win.
yeah. Anyway,
Oh, Nick Saban,
so
rip.
so
Well, he's not dead, but
in the college football world, Nick Saban would be the equivalent of Bill Belichick, who we'll talk about here in a minute.
right. I got a whole list of people who got the
Yeah.
boot.
So Nathan, why are we talking about Nick Saban and college football right now
Well,
instead of other things?
Nick Saban was such a legendary coach, and I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about him, but he was at LSU, he was at Bama forever.
Right.
He is a very, very legendary coach, and there's a lot
Right.
of very legendary coaches. Well, really in a lot of sports, but especially in the NFL this year, that have been let go or the conversations at least started.
Right.
Let's start with the first big one, Josh McDaniels for the Raiders.
That one I saw coming from a mile away.
I think if you didn't see that one coming from a mile away, you need help.
You need help. I mean, to put it short, he has coached for 2 AFC West teams,
Yeah.
and he failed miserably at both of them.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was terrible. Now,
It was bad.
was some of it on the players and some
Yes.
of it on the people? Yeah,
And we're seeing that.
we're seeing that.
that now.
So some of that, like, okay, guys, when coaches get fired in any sport,
That's usually a last ditch resort.
it's usually the conversation has started, or preseason, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the owner's office saying, "Hey,"
Yep.
and being told, "Hey, you got this year to turn
figure it out.
to figure it out, to turn it around, to do whatever. If you do not succeed this year, you will be fired."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think we've seen a lot of that this year.
Right.
Josh McDaniels, I'm glad he's gone. I'll be
I'm
honest.
glad,
but
I'm
now,
glad he's gone too.
Now they've got a problem, though, in the Raiders, because they had
Right.
John Gruden, whom they kind of were more or less forced to let go. It sounds like they're trying to get him back, which, you know what? Good on you. I hope he comes back. That was not how that should have been handled.
Okay, our opinions might be slightly different. Like, should he have resigned? Yeah, probably. In my opinion, he probably should have resigned.
Yeah, but he was fired.
Yes. Now, here's where we realign. Should he have been the only one to face consequences?
Absolutely not.
No.
Well, and he went. Remember, you got to remember too, when all of that went down, and we don't know all the details, and by we I mean everybody
Yeah.
doesn't know all the details of that whole situation. But John Gruden was not a coach for the Raiders when. Well, he wasn't even employed by the NFL at that point in time. So
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay, it wasn't even the Raiders who were, who were in trouble. It
Yeah,
was
that's what I was trying to say.
It was Washington.
Yep.
Who everybody has known for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, Washington fans rejoice. The bad man that was Daniel Snyder is gone.
Yeah. When did he leave? Or
He
get left?
he was forced to sell the team this last offseason.
That's right. That's right.
The fact that it took
I'm glad he's gone.
the fact that it took 2 or 3 years after Gruden was fired
Yeah.
basically fired. I think he technically resigned.
Did he?
I,
They're still paying his contract out.
Yeah, they're still paying his contract out. So I think he technically resigned. They were.
Yeah,
I think
that's right. It was. Yeah.
But anyway, the fact that at the time of the repercussions against John Gruden, he was the only one that faced said repercussions.
Yeah. There's a lot more people that.
There was a lot more people, and the fact that it took 2 or 3 years after that
Yeah.
for the NFL to basically force Dan Snyder out.
I wonder what John Gruden's lawsuit is going to bring. I'm kind of
see.
excited to see what happens.
I am too. All right.
So, you have Josh McDaniels fired. The Raiders are having to pay 2 full-time coaches
Yeah.
because they have to pay him out. That's what the contracts
Yeah.
say. So they're paying them out. I'm glad Josh McDaniels is gone. He was a
He's a bad coach.
he was a bad coach.
He's a good coordinator.
He's a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's a good
offensive coordinator, but he was not a good head coach. And you're seeing that from a lot of the Bill Belichick clan. And I think we're starting to see, speaking of Bill.
Right. And, well, before we continue that, y'all, listen. There are obviously a lot of coaches a lot of coordinators, I should say, out there that people think would be good coaches that will not be. Like, the past couple weeks, I've seen a lot of people clamor for Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, to get a head coaching job. Here's the thing. He had a head coaching job. He did not do well.
No, he did not do well. No.
Good coordinator, bad coach.
Yep.
Sometimes
that happens a lot too.
Sometimes the transition from coordinator to coach isn't the best thing.
Well, see, the coordinators are specialized.
Right.
And if you look at Bill Belichick, he's a defensive coordinator. Right. Bill Belichick has always been a defensive guy. The reason why his offenses has been so explosive in the past few years, minus the last 2 or 3, is because he never adapted. First off, I want to say Bill Belichick, highly respect him.
Right.
He's a very, very decorated class act of a man. Okay.
Right.
He's a good dude. Maybe a little rough around the edges, but he's an overall good dude. However, he's a defensive coordinator. His offensive coordinators were, well, he actually had offensive coordinators, but Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. Okay, those were his offensive coordinators.
Especially in the latter half of Tom Brady's career.
Well, wait a minute. Was he?
He was never.
Was he coached with Bledsoe? Yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah, he was the head coach. Yeah.
I think Bledsoe was there for a year.
Yep. What?
Nothing.
Sorry, I'm getting excited. When I get excited, I have restless leg syndrome, and so sometimes my leg shakes, and then he gets annoyed.
I get annoyed at you a lot.
And he gently reminds me to not.
Right. Anyway, let's move on to the next coach fired, Nathan.
Was Belichick technically fired?
I don't think he was.
I think it was more of like a you're being let go.
It was a more of we are mutually done with each other.
How about Frank Reich from the Carolina Panthers?
See, here's the thing. I saw it coming, but I think it was for different reasons than people expected.
Right.
Frank Reich, I don't think is a bad head coach. I just don't think he's a great one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know enough about that whole thing.
Right.
I really don't remember a whole lot about it. It kind of surprised me though. I think
he's the kind of head coach that he just needs to.
He needs a different system.
He needs a different system. It's kind of like a middle of the road quarterback. You know, it's kind of like.
It's like the Matt Flynn of coaching.
Right.
You know?
Matt Flynn, or maybe.
Is that an accurate? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
He was. All right, we are back. Okay.
We made it back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
All right. So with Frank Reich, the term system quarterback is thrown around a lot in the league. I think Frank Reich is a system head coach.
Yeah.
If he gets the right system, the right players, and especially the right quarterback,
probably be all right.
Probably be a good coach. He'll probably be thought of as a decent coach that,
Right.
All right.
Oh, here's a good one. Brandon Staley.
All right.
Yeah, okay. He had it coming.
Okay, as much of a Chiefs fan as I am, yes, he had it coming. Do I wish they had kept him longer? As a Chiefs fan, personally, yeah, keep him around. He was doing a great job. All right, now that the bias is out of the way.
Wasn't he your offensive coordinator?
No. Our offensive coordinator. He went to Washington.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What position was he with the Chiefs?
Him? I don't think he was with the Chiefs at all.
You just said he was with the Chiefs.
No, I said as a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
He was with the Chargers.
Yeah, I know he was with the Chargers, but before he went to the Chargers, you made it sound like he was like a coordinator or something with the Chiefs.
He wasn't coordinated with the Chiefs.
Okay, I was like,
I'm saying as a Chiefs.
I was like, he was from the Chiefs.
As a Chiefs fan, his legacy of failure is awesome.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
I see.
saying.
I was like,
Nathan got
huh?
confused. Nathan got confused. That happens a lot.
Well, no, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Chiefs? What did the what?
As
Yeah.
a Chiefs fan, I wish they had kept him on a little longer because
Forever.
Forever. Because what I want to
you wish the Chargers kept them on a little longer.
the Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Anyway, but
I honestly,
it was.
how did anybody think that was gonna work?
Okay, I get it. He was an analytics guy. He was like, "Oh, I'm big into the analytics. I'm big into the numbers." I'm like, okay,
That doesn't always work though.
that's like arguing Dak is better than Mahomes based on stats.
Ooh.
Okay, guys.
But I mean, if you look at his last game, he threw for what, 400 yards, technically speaking.
Yeah.
But he got absolutely destroyed by the Packers.
Yeah. Well, Mahomes threw for like 260 and beat the Dolphins.
I tried to make a dolphin sound. It didn't work very well.
It did not work. It sounded like a depressed chicken. Anyway, but yeah, I saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah, same.
And the weird thing is I saw both pass happen.
Oh, he was the
happening.
Rams' defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I saw both pass happening at the same time with him. I was like, I could see them fire. He should be fired.
Oh.
He should be fired.
Yeah, he deserved
Staley
it.
should have been fired.
Staley should have been fired, and he did.
But would I have been surprised if the Chargers had kept him on? Absolutely not, because that's just the kind of organization they are.
They kind of are a little bit. They're
All
like,
right.
if the Jets had, they're like, the Chargers are like the Jets' luck with players and coaching staff. Like, it's just like you think you've got this big shot who can like turn it around, and then he does, like he can't.
And what happens? He butt fumbles.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But okay, I think this might be our last one or almost last one.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
This was the most surprising one to me.
I think it was stupid.
I think it was stupid too.
I think they should fire their general manager.
I agree.
I think that's who they need to fire.
Okay, so you are what?
They didn't give him anything.
They didn't give him anything.
They forced his hand.
They didn't give him anything besides Derrick Henry.
Yep.
And what did they give up? Shell of Ryan Tannehill wasn't that good to begin with. I'm sorry.
You're right. You're right.
He wasn't that good to begin
Overrated.
with. Derrick Henry, who was great, but he's running back. How much more gas does he have in the tank?
Right.
Some pieces on defense, and that's pretty much it. But then, even with that, he made an AFC Championship game a few years ago, and they were like, "Oh no, you're fired."
Yeah, like it's like when the Eagles fired what's his face?
Doug.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson.
It's like
it was like, huh? He took you to the Super Bowl last year. You fire him the next season because he made a smart move and tanked, so that you guys didn't get smoked at the playoffs and got extra picks the next season.
Right.
You fire him for that, and then all of a sudden those picks actually helped you out a lot. Now you're realizing, oh, maybe it was his coaching that actually kept the players united together. And now you're seeing them get smacked in the first round at the playoffs.
Right. And you know who Doug Peterson was basically a kind of a clone of?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
They realized that was you had several.
They fired both of them.
They fired both of them. Which, by the way, thanks Philly for firing Andy Reid.
Thank you, Philly. I'm a Packer fan, but thank you for firing him so that the Chiefs could get him.
See,
start a whole freaking dynasty.
Right. My gosh. Okay. To be fair, I understand why they fired Andy Reid.
He needed it.
But But then he came
with
to
the-
Kansas City,
with-
got Alex Smith, and got Patrick Mahomes, and it's been freaking awesome.
He needed the wake up call in terms of the clock management.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like no. Andy's a great coach. He is a. You're welcome, by the way. He's a Mike Holmgren spinoff. Which, by the way, Mike Holmgren. It's kind of interesting to watch the coaching trees between Belichick and Holmgren. Holmgren owns the NFL. Mike Holmgren is the NFL.
Even if you look
Bill
further
Belichick,
back,
his entire coaching tree minus maybe one or two, is just fail. It's just fail.
There's one or two that you could say, all right, they're doing a good job. But overall, it's just fail. Patricia failed in Detroit.
Yep, Matt Patricia.
McDaniels, as we talked about him.
We just talked about him.
Has failed with two different NFL teams.
Don't talk bad about his Patriots.
Right.
Locker room will explode.
Bill O'Brien.
Yep.
Well, okay, he had a decent record as a coach. Failed to be a Belichick clone.
Yeah.
He absolutely failed on that.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry. How do you freaking trade DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
That was
how?
Like
how?
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay, and the way Bill did it, I get it, because Bill moved a year early, rather than moving a year late.
Right.
Like so, he would trade a player that still had a little bit of gas left in the tank.
Yeah, and get a good pick or something.
And get a good pick.
But
he's
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins he's still doing it.
Yeah, like come on, bro. Like he was number one.
Yeah. So yeah, and even then, you can probably trace Mike Holmgren's. You can probably through Mike Holmgren trace it all the way back to guys like Tom Landry, Hank Stram.
Who did Mike Holmgren coach under as a coordinator?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
You
or did he ever? I wonder. I think he just came straight in.
I think he just came straight in. But you got guys like Tom Landry, Don Shula, Hank Stram, Bill Walsh. You're gonna like this next one. Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
Who, by the way,
thank you.
Vince Lombardi was one of the best coaches ever in the NFL.
He was an incredible coach.
2, the reason the Lombardi Trophy is named the Lombardi Trophy is because of Lamar Dang Hunt.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
They're gonna call it the Hunt Trophy. Oh, we're gonna win that Super Bowl and get the Hunt Trophy. No, we're getting a Lombardi, bro.
Yeah, but that was Lombardi. But that was Hank Stram doing that, not Hank Stram. Lamar Hunt. Anyway, Hank Stram was the coach of the Chiefs when they first won the Super Bowl.
But anyway, how did we get from Mike Vrabel all the way to?
No idea.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel should not have been fired. Pete Carroll.
The game was passing him by.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that.
He might have had 1 or 2 years.
He's 72.
Yeah, he might have had 1 or 2 years left, and then it would have definitely.
They didn't do that well this year, though. Honestly, ever since, was it the 2013 Super Bowl, 2012 Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl where they throw it on the 1 yard line and we will freaking.
Like, you've got the Legion of Boom, Mr. Beast Mode.
Beast mode in your backfield.
Beast mode. We have beast mode in the backfield, ready to go. Oh, that's what I did. I combined Mr. Beastfield. That's what my brain did. Yeah,
backfield.
You've got the greatest running back ever, and if you listen to the Club Shay Shay podcast,
right? It's hilarious.
His response was amazing to the whole thing. They were asking him questions like, did they not give you the ball because they wanted Russ to be the
hero or
MVP, or did they?
He should have been. Beast Mode should have been the MVP.
He should have been the MVP. If he won, if the Sea Chickens won, I call them the Sea Chickens. If the Sea Chickens won, he would have been the MVP that year. I don't know. Ever since that point in time, Pete Carroll's just he's been trying to rebuild the Legion of Boom, and
it's not been working.
You can't. He said it best. Marshawn said it best on Club Shay Shay. He said, look, you're not going to recreate that. You need to take the guys that you have and build into them so that they
Right.
can become what they need to be so that you win some games. But you're not going to do that if you keep trying to draft the Legion of Boom again.
And that's what teams like the Chiefs and the Packers are doing.
Yeah.
Getting young guys and actually building into
Yeah.
them, not, trying to recreate the glory days.
Like, I'm a Packer fan, okay? Everyone is making comparisons from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. Now, if you look at it, Aaron Rodgers just a little bit arguably outplayed Brett Favre. And if you
Right.
look at it again, Jordan Love is just a little bit outplaying Aaron Rodgers. It's his first season as a starter, and he's destroying everything. I mean, he
Right.
demolished the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. The only reason why the Cowboys scored 36 points, 38.
Like 32, I think, by the end of
Oh
it.
yeah, no, it was like 32.
Yeah,
The only
so-
reason why they scored 32 points is because the coaches put all the second and third stringers in with
Right.
6 minutes left, and even then they were still taking it to them. Now, that again, Matt LaFleur, if you're listening to this, don't you ever do that ever again.
That's a bad coaching
You
decision.
go hard to the end,
You go hard.
but
If you take it down to the 2-minute warning and then you're like, okay, we have one possession left.
okay, yeah,
throw the backups
throw the
in.
backups in there, let them have a little play. But my goodness, don't ever do that again. But that being said, Jordan Love, they poured into him. Okay, yeah, sure. They taught him some different techniques and whatever from the past two MVP Hall of Fame quarterbacks. But it's Jordan Love's style. It's still his. It's still him. They just gave him some refinements that work for most people. And now he's not only throwing the ball off his back foot across his body 50, 60 yards, he can jump up in the air, whip it all the way across. He's throwing, I mean, he can thread the needle so tight. And he's got an arm, too. He can throw far, man. He's got a cannon. So you got Jordan Love.
You're not gonna like my next take.
You got Aaron Jones. You got AJ Dillon. You got Christian Watson, who needs a new hamstring.
At
You
least
got
he's
Romeo
the
Dobbs,
Lord of the paper mache there.
Luke
you know?
Musgrave, Lord of the Paper Mache. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Luke Musgrave. Golly, who else? There's the third string running back. That's the rookie. That's actually doing really good. Whatever his name is.
All right.
Like, dude, and okay, fire Joe Barry, but the defense actually started playing. I think the pressure on Joe Barry with the whole fire Joe Barry thing kind of woke him up a little bit. So,
All right. Now,
all right, you go.
To temper expectations a little bit. All right.
We're destroying San Francisco.
To temper expectations a little bit. Yes, as Jordan Love had, like ever since Thanksgiving when you guys beat Detroit, he has been on an absolute tear. He has had one of the best like second half of his first starting season. Like it technically isn't a rookie season, but it's basically
yeah.
He had one game before this and he didn't do too well. I think the nerves got to him because he was playing.
He was playing like the Super Bowl team.
Yeah, he was playing the team to beat, which I know.
It was
I
the
have
Chiefs.
I have my takes on the Chiefs here. You'll get those here in a minute. But anyway, but yeah, it's basically his for all intents and purposes, it's his rookie year. Now,
right.
it's not actually his rookie year because
He was hired in 20, so
yeah, his rookie year he was behind Rodgers.
he's only like the fourth year in, though. I'm just
right. Now, can he keep up this tear? Absolutely. I
think
have
he
no
could.
problems if he did, because that means rematch of Super Bowl I, Mahomes versus Love.
Yep.
That might be an actually good.
That would
matchup.
be a fun matchup.
That would be a fun matchup.
You got the world's youngest defense versus the world's youngest offense.
Yeah, that would be a
That'd
fun matchup. Now, could that happen? Yes.
I think there's a very, very real reality where that happens now. If you could beat the Bills.
Yeah, can that happen?
Yeah.
Yes, there are questions on the Chiefs side, but there are also questions on the Packers side. Can you
Yeah. Injuries. Big
can
one.
you defeat the ghosts of playoff past? Can you get past the hump of the Niners?
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one.
Because with Rodgers,
If he ever could do it.
the Niners were always your big obstacle in the playoffs.
Yep.
The same way with the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been the Bills' biggest obstacle in the playoffs.
Yep.
This weekend, we'll see if the Bills can, exercise the ghost of playoffs past and forget about the whole 13 seconds thing. Well, I'm not going to let you.
That was one of the best plays you guys ever had. Jet
Yeah.
Chip Wasp.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's very real reality that Jordan Love could continue this
I think he could.
legacy Hall of Fame.
Did
this
you hear
legacy-
what San Francisco's head coach said?
Yeah.
He said that it was at the end of the first half of the Packers game against the Cowboys, and he was already watching film. Like, he was already coming up with the game
Right.
plan.
Right.
It's
Now-
like he realized, oh, crap. The
Now-
Packers are mad. The Beehive got angry.
Now, the question still remains of, okay, yes, this is Jordan Love has been awesome, but the question still remains: this is his first year? Can he keep it up? Okay,
I know.
that's the question.
I know you're right. I know you're right.
I'm right. Do
I
I
know.
want to be right in this situation?
No.
Do you
I
want
don't
me
want
to
you
right?
to be right.
Do you want me to be right?
I
Absolutely
want to be right.
not.
I want to be right.
Now, can
I
it
want
happen?
Pat Mahomes on the Packers team.
Now, yeah, fat chance.
Hey,
now,
Pat Mahomes, not the.
now, can it happen? Yes.
Yeah.
As a football fan, I'm all in favor of as many good players in the NFL as possible.
I'm
So we
glad
get
you
as
said
many
it.
get so that we get as many good matchups as possible, so that we get
Yep.
as many good games as possible, and so that we get as many games that the refs freaking can't
Hey,
freaking
refs.
massacre with their freaking bad calls.
I'm looking at you, Mr. Stripey.
And no, it's not just
Like
in
this.
favor of the Chiefs.
No, they're not in favor of the Chiefs. We've clearly seen that.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney
Anyway,
should have been
Um,
offsetting. Just saying.
now, on the other side of that Packer game is Dallas.
I'm glad Dallas lost.
As much as I love to laugh at Dallas and their suffering, we both of us have friends who are Dallas fans, and we love to just
And
poke
I
'em about
love gloating about
it.
it.
We just love to poke them about it all the freaking time.
Yep.
It has been 20, I think this is 28 or 29 years. It's almost 30 years since you guys have made it to the NFC Championship and made
Yeah.
it to a Super Bowl, much less won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And yet every year, your fans are arrogant enough to say, hey, this is our year. Now, does every fan base say that? Yes.
Yes.
We're just not Cowboys fans who are,
Lying about it ever
and-
since 1993. You know their
and-
problem.
we're not as deep in delusion about it. We're like, yes, I'm a Chiefs fan, and yes,
Right.
I think they'll win every year. And with Pat Mahomes, and these last few years, that's been more of a distinct possibility than ever.
Right.
But I was willing to admit that we had guys like Tyler Thigpen.
Yeah.
Most of you guys don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
I know what you're talking about.
But when we had Tyler Thigpen and Matt Castle at quarterback, I was brave enough to admit, yeah, we're not going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
And
you were right.
Okay, I remember when the Royals won the 2015 World Series. I was just like, yeah, Royals, we're good. Oh, the Chiefs are playing, and they suck.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Chiefs were really bad there for a long time.
They were
actually.
bad, okay.
But then, Andy Reid reeded.
Everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting kind of sidetracked, but yeah.
But I don't know, with the Cowboys, you got Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. I respect Mike McCarthy because he got me a Super Bowl with the Packers. But here's the deal. As much as Dak is the problem, And as much as Mike McCarthy's system is old,
Right.
it's not bad. It's just old.
It worked at one time.
It worked very well for a very good number of years, but honestly, ever since the rule change in 2018
Right.
with the defense pass interference,
Yeah.
or not pass interference, roughing the passer,
Yeah.
his playbook's been out of date.
Right.
It has been. I mean, Clay
Yeah.
Matthews got fired over it.
And
He
yeah,
did.
yeah.
He a few years ago, I probably not today, but a few years ago, he would have still been playing with the Packers had it not been for that.
And that combined with the fact that
Jerry Jones.
okay,
That's where I'm going with this.
you're going to Jerry Jones, but I'm gonna stick on Mike McCarthy for a second. That the playbook being out of date combined with,
Yeah.
he has the same problem that Andy had in Philly.
Yeah.
He has a clock management problem. The difference
He
between
has a management problem.
he has a management problem, but the difference between Mike McCarthy's poor clock management and Andy Reid now is one. Yes, Andy has a Hall of Fame quarterback that can just will a team to win.
Right.
Everyone, every single time. Now, if the receivers could catch the ball, but
They stopped playing volleyball.
but yeah. So one, yes, I recognize that Andy Reid now has a Hall of Fame quarterback. But what you got to realize is when Andy got to Kansas City, he did not have a Hall of Fame quarterback. He had Alex Smith. Not a bad quarterback. He'll probably be a second ballot Hall of Famer, I'm guessing.
I mean, he's already in the Hall of Fame for college ball.
Yeah, for college ball. He'll be in the pro
He'll be in
football.
the Hall of Fame.
He'll be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If not,
He taught Mahomes. I mean, he taught him
Yeah.
how to read the defense.
If for nothing else, then that freaking miracle of a leg of his is just gonna be like,
Golly.
how did you survive that?
Him
man?
and
Heck-
DeMar Hamlin.
Heck, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he had Alex Smith, not a bad quarterback. Alex Smith was not a bad quarterback.
No,
Like
he
I
was.
said,
He was actually, I would
he'll
say, a
probably-
fairly decent quarterback.
He'll
yeah.
be a second ballot. Like I said, he'll be a second ballot Hall of Famer. He won't get in on his first time. Mahomes will. That's
Oh yeah,
Mahomes will.
absolutely. But,
But-
he'll be. He'll make.
But
it.
number
He'll
two, and this is where my second point comes in with Andy Reid, is you could see that when Andy and Alex were working together,
Mhm.
Andy learned from his mistakes.
Yes, he did. He did, and it actually helped Alex Smith. And actually, his last year with the Commanders, if Alex Smith stayed on as a quarterback, he actually probably would have been really good. Actually,
Yeah.
'Cause, that
Well,
last
his-
season he did really well.
Well, okay, his last
he
season,
did really good.
his last season with the Chiefs was one of his best statistical seasons ever.
Yeah, like the system
And-
that he had was working.
And as much as I don't like, stats, like, okay, I don't not like stats.
Okay.
It's just when you're comparing two quarterbacks,
Stats
And-
and application are different.
yeah,
but it was applying,
yeah, it
and
was
you
a
saw
problem.
that with the
Right.
Commanders.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, Andy learned from his mistakes. I
Yeah.
don't think Mike ever did because Mike, for most of his career, had a Hall of Fame quarterback,
Yeah.
a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback with him.
Yeah. Yep. No, he doesn't.
Now he doesn't.
Well, okay. To be fair, Dak is no sleepover. Okay, he's no sleep on. He is a good quarterback.
okay. To draw one more comparison to Andy Reid, where Andy went from Alex Smith to Pat Mahomes, Mike McCarthy went from Aaron Rodgers to Dak Prescott. So they're in reverse order.
But he's
You're
going.
going-
He's going downhill.
Now,
He's got to learn. He's making mistakes later in life, and he's got to.
yeah. Now is okay.
Not later in life. Sorry, I said that wrong. Later in
Is coaching
his career.
Yeah.
That's.
No.
It sounds a little different.
let me preface this next take or this next. Excuse me.
Oh, he's dying over here.
Let me preface this next statement with this: Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback.
No.
I think he's comparable to Alex Smith. He's had some very good years.
Mm-hmm.
He will, by the end of his career, he will probably be Hall of Fame worthy.
Right.
But, and I hate saying this because I love Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback in Kansas City. He was a good
Yeah.
quarterback in San Francisco. He was a good quarterback in Washington. that being said, you don't want your comp to be Alex Smith.
You comp?
You don't want to be compared to Alex
Oh.
Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
You do not.
You don't, unless it's coming back to life,
Right. As much
or Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, as
really,
much,
Alec or Damar.
yeah, as much as we love Alex on the show, and I think we've made that clear by now, because obviously he was a good quarterback before and after Kansas City and in Kansas City,
Right.
but he was still a middle of the road quarterback, which means he'll get you to the playoffs,
Right.
almost every year. He'll probably get you to an AFC, if he could get you to an AFC championship and win it.
Right. He'll get there.
He
could have gotten you there.
He could have gotten there. And, he could have gotten to the Super Bowl and probably won it.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
He chose to retire.
For
his family, actually.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to a point I tried to make earlier with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Jerry Jones has been the problem with that organization since 1993, and honestly, ever since 1988.
Okay.
And I think it came to a boiling point with Jimmy Johnson in that halftime, that halftime spat that he had.
that halftime spat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was you know what? No, that was a good halftime spat. I'm glad he did it.
I'm glad he did it too.
Jimmy
Johnson, by the way, another legendary head coach. But
fantastic head coach.
He was a fantastic
He
head
was
coach.
absolutely correct. And the problem with that organization is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, I understand it. He's the owner. But he needs to back off and trust his people. I bet you, I'll give you money that if he just backed off of Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott and just said, do your thing, just make me money and make me games, they would probably have, I'll say it, they probably would have beat the Packers.
Yeah.
They probably would have.
They should have beat the Packers, to be honest.
Well, I don't know about that because the Packers came on fire the last 3 games of the season.
On paper, okay.
On paper, yes.
On paper, you're the 2 seed, they're the 7 seed. You take care of business in that game.
See, the problem is that the Packers made a lot of mistakes. They made 2 mistakes in December, the beginning of December, and we thought they were out.
Yeah, we did.
I'll be honest. There was one point where people were like, "Oh yeah, the Packers, they're like a 20% chance," and all of a sudden now they're Super Bowl contenders. Whoa, that came out of nowhere. But the Packers also got into the playoffs by squeaking by.
Right.
Had we had the same record but lost to the Lions, probably wouldn't be in. Had we had the same record but lost to the Bears, we definitely wouldn't be in. We had to beat the Bears both times, guys.
Right. Right.
We squeaked in.
And that's the thing about the 7 seed is most teams on both sides squeak in.
Now, it is kind of cool for the Packers to say that we are the first 7th seed to have a playoff ever.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, Matt LaFleur has something that he can brag about.
Yes. And whether or not that happened this year with the Packers, it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
That's just how
someone was going to win.
The game works. All right. Yeah. But, yeah, it would have happened eventually.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about a little bit, but I'm going to transition over to the Chiefs game. Yeah, we won. We won because we were we were the better team. 2, because it was absolutely frigid, and 2, it never plays well in frigid temperatures. And 3, we had the better defense. Now, am I concerned about the Bills game coming up this weekend?
I would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is Mahomes' first road game. They're going into the Bills building, and it's coming.
There you go. That should help you out a little bit.
Yeah. And, it's coming.
Right.
But, on the other hand, it's the Bills.
Yeah.
And while, yes, they've had our number in the regular season, we've had theirs in the playoffs,
Right.
historically speaking.
Right.
And can the Bills win this game? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
there are I have a take about Josh Allen that a lot of people aren't going to agree with, because I've been watching major sports media, and major sports media has fallen in love with Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen too. I think
he's a good quarterback.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but
Bad quarterback?
I said I don't think so.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you don't think he's good.
I think he's good.
I think he's really good. I think he's a gunslinger is the problem.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger, which is a good and a bad thing.
He's a Brett Favre type,
Yeah, he's a Favre type that doesn't know how to throw the ball to not intercept.
And and Nathan, you are a Packers fan. What was one of the biggest problems with Favre?
Interceptions.
Interceptions.
What kept the Vikings out of the Super Bowl in 2009?
Interceptions.
An interception. That very last interception.
Right. Now,
that still haunts them to this day.
Yeah. Now, let me be clear. Yes, Josh Allen has cut down his interception rate a whole lot.
Which is why he's scary right now.
Which is why he's scary. But just because you've cut down your interception rate doesn't mean that interceptions don't mean a lot when you do throw them.
Right.
And Nathan, I've said this several times in our conversations about the league, and specifically about Josh Allen.
Right.
It's not so much the amount of interceptions now for Josh.
Consistent.
Well, yeah. It's consistency. Two, it's not so much the amount of interceptions he's throwing.
Right.
It's when he's throwing them.
Right. Right.
You mentioned that final interception in 2009.
Yeah.
With the Vikings and Brett Favre. I've seen Josh Allen throw similar interceptions in games.
Yeah.
Now, if he throws an interception that's just absolutely backbreaking, say they're down a field goal, 13 seconds left. Say they're in the same exact situation that the Chiefs were in. 13 seconds left.
Right.
Down by a field goal with 2 timeouts. Need to get down the field. Josh Allen throws an interception then. I don't think he should be cut, but
very, very, very stern talking to.
Very stern talking
coaching.
To. Maybe look at the coaching
a little bit. Yeah. All right, so I pulled up a chart here of our playoff stands. I think we're going to have to end it on this, but we've got Green Bay and San Francisco. You got Tampa Bay and the Lions. Ooh, that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
You got the Ravens and the Texans. That's going to be an incredible game.
Uh-huh.
And you have Chiefs-Bills. Honestly, can I tell you what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
I want to see in the this is the divisional round. What I want to see in the conference round, I want to see Green Bay and Lions, Chiefs Texans.
Ooh,
that's what I want to see.
I had the same thing on the AFC side of the bracket,
but
Green Bay Lions, that actually might be
I think
that's gonna be a good game.
That would be a great game. That's what I want to see.
Now, will that happen? No, I don't know. I should say.
I don't know. I mean, San Francisco is kind of
the
49ers is the one that's like,
and
we beat the Lions already, so.
And Baltimore is. But if the Texans can beat Baltimore, and the Chiefs can beat the Bills, that means for this 6th straight year, I think, the Chiefs will host.
That's true.
A conference championship game.
Ooh, that'll be oh man. Then, so if the Chiefs win,
now
I want to see Packers Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I want to see Packers Chiefs.
I think that would be awesome.
I think that would be awesome. Will it happen? I have my doubts.
I think there is a 32% chance that it'll happen.
Right.
I think it's a lot higher chance than people want to admit.
Right. It is a lot higher chance. Because to me, it seemed like the Chiefs' offense started to wake up last week.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys started playing like you used to.
Yeah.
a little bit. I think finally Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes and a couple others finally said, "Hey, we need to actually be
And
serious."
Our defense has been playing lights out all year.
Yeah, which has gotten you into the
It's got us in the
playoff
playoffs.
picture here.
Now, can we hold the Bills? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The problem for us is, are we going to score enough?
Right.
That's my concern.
What is? I think the Packers play Saturday night, 7:30. When is the Lions game?
I think that's Sunday afternoon.
Is it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday at 2.
Yep.
Ooh, so we can watch a part of it.
We can watch part of it.
And then when is the Chiefs game?
Sunday night.
Ooh, so we can watch that after we part of it. Yeah.
Part of it, anyway. We'll catch the end of it probably.
We can watch, and then what else? Well, no, because that's. Oh yeah, no, that's right. 7:30.
No. This weekend we have an event.
That's right. Yeah,
we're going somewhere.
Yeah, we got Winter Gym. That's right.
Anyway.
I had to remind some people of that.
But
So wait, when's the Bill? No, not the Baltimore. Baltimore.
2 games are on Saturday. So the Chiefs are playing on Sunday, which means Baltimore and Houston are playing Saturday.
Baltimore. The Ravens and Texans are playing Saturday 3:30.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna have a fun Saturday.
We could. Well, I worked part of Saturday, but you know.
Oh, we can still watch that Packer game together though.
Yep.
You'll be back by then. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it. That's this episode of the King Spit Podcast, talking about football.
And you have heard our Super Bowl hopes. I won't call them predictions because we'll see how those go.
33% chance Packers Chiefs.
That's our hope.
That's what we want.
All right, guys. That's where we'll wrap this. I don't know what we're going to talk about next episode.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Peace. That's not a peace sign. That's a love sign. Peace.
Peace.